Hello people, today we are going to learn about basic building blocks of geometry. So let's get started. Points. What are points? So points are location without substance. They have neither size nor dimensions. Points are imperfectly presented on the page by a small dot. A capital letter is used to name a point as we see below. A dot. This dot is a point, which is very simple. You have seen points before in the xy coordinate plane. They are represented by ordered pairs of number like x, y on the number plane, xy coordinate plane. A two intersecting line intersects in a point. Points make up every geometric figure. For example, string a bunch of them together, you have a line. Lines. What are lines? When we talk about lines in geometry, we are talking about straight lines that extend forever in both directions. They never end. This is very important to know that they never end because the lines which end is a line segment. Below is a picture of a line. When we draw a line, we put arrows on both ends to signify that the line keeps going. There are two ways to name a line. One way is to use lowercase letter, usually L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, or T, or as shown in the figure below. M. The line has arrow on both sides. Remember this. 2 points determine a line, right? Right. What we mean by this is that if you have two different points, there is one and only one line that passes through them. A and B, picture of a line. Because of this, another way to name a line is by using 2 points on the line. AB, line AB, or BA. So to name a line by using 2 points, we write two capital letters of the point next to each other and then draw a line, a little line symbol over them, like this. It does not matter which letter comes first. Important thing to note is that the line symbol above the letter has arrow on both ends. Line segment. Line segment are straight and they have two end points. Dot and dot. Two dots are there. Two end points are there, and the two dots are connected with a line which is called line segment. Line segment come in various lengths. Line segment are part of lines. This is very important to remember. Line segments are part of lines. Below is a picture of line segment. When when we draw one, we usually use dots to emphasize the endpoints. There is only one way we will name line segment. We name them by using their endpoints AB, AB, like this, AB with a line on the top or BA with a line on the top. When naming a line segment, we draw a picture of a line segment without arrow, like this, or dots on the end. Above two capital letters denoting the endpoints. Note well difference between the name of line and the name of line segment. AB comes with an arrow above and for line, and for line segment there is just straight line with no dots and no arrow. Rays. A ray is a straight line. It has one endpoint. A ray extends forever in one direction. Extends forever in the direction which has arrow. Imagine a line, not a line segment. Remember this. If you break the line into two pieces, each piece will be an arrow. Below is a picture of ray. We draw an arrow on one end and a dot on the other end. Endpoint, no endpoint. It goes on forever. We name a ray by using its endpoint. and in any other point on the way. We always write the end point first and then the other point. Then we draw the picture of a ray above the letters C, D, and then arrow. So these pictures are not coming up properly, so you can just remember CD with a line with an arrow. We denote it like that. Angles. An angle is what you get when you take two arrows pointing in different direction and joining them at their end point, like this. This is the end point of one arrow BA and BC. The angle is formed from the rays and with rays BA and BC. The point where the two rays come together is called vertex of the angle. Two rays, the end point of the rays meet together at a point which is called vertex. Each ray is called side of the angle. Side, side, and this point is vertex. Naming an angle, three-letter method. First we write the angle symbol like this. Then next we write the name of a point on one side, D. Next we write the name of the vertex, E. Finally we write the name of a point on the other side, F. So for denoting this angle, we'll write angle DEF. Keep in mind that when naming an angle with three letters, the name of the vertex must come in the middle, like this. DEF. Vertex is in the middle. Angle DEF or angle FED. The angle which we are trying to denote must come in the middle. Naming an angle one letter method. If there is no other thing mentioned, we can just name the letter at vertex. So angle R. Even if it is mentioned, we can still denote this angle as the point which is at vertex. So this vertex name is R, so we can just write it as an angle R. In the diagram below, there is only one angle with vertex B. So that angle could be called as angle B, angle ABC, or CBA, with B always in the middle. There is more than one angle with vertex A. So it would not make sense to write an angle A. Here there are two angles, here this side and this side. So if we write just angle A, it would not make any sense, because then people will be confused which side angle we are talking about. So for this kind of situation, we need to write angle DAB or BAC, which will differentiate which angle we are talking about. Naming an angle number method. A simple way to label and name an angle is to put number in opening and then use the number to name the angle, like this. If 2 is inside, we'll just write angle 2 as the name of angle. Diagrams. In geometry, we draw pictures called diagrams depicting points, line segments, and angles, etc. Various important points, lines, and angles are labeled in diagrams. We need to practice reading these diagrams carefully. Rules to remember. Don't assume diagrams are drawn to scale. Don't assume things involving measurements, like one line segment looks shorter than another, or a point appears to be exactly midway between two other points. If you see 3 points A, B, and C marked on a line, you may assume that there is indeed one line passing through them all. You may assume betweenness relationship. This means that if one point is drawn between two other points, you may assume it really is. In the diagram below, you may assume that C is between B and D, like this. You may assume that one line is drawn through B, C, and D. You may not assume that line segment A and D is shorter than segment A and B. Just by looking at the picture, it seems that AB is bigger than AD, but we should not assume unless and until it is mentioned. You may not assume that C is exactly in the midway between B and D. So we should never assume, although it might be tempting to assume that C is in the middle of B and D, we should not assume this unless and until it is specifically mentioned that C is the midpoint. Otherwise, we should not. So this is just a summary of what we have learned so far. Line has no endpoint. It keeps moving in both the direction. Line can be denoted by a single letter M, or it can be denoted as uh, two letters AB with a line on the top as with an arrow on both sides. Line segment has a definite length. It does not extend until infinity like line. It is a part of line. Line segment is a part of a line, and it has two endpoints, and it can be denoted as AB or BA with a line on the top. Arrow has one endpoint, which is A. It goes indefinitely in other direction, which is arrow. It is denoted as AB with a hat on it, with a hat of line with an arrow on one side. The angle is can be denoted by a number. Angle 1 can be denoted by a letter which is pointing at vertex angle B, or angle ABC with vertex point in the middle, or CBA which vertex point in the middle. So guys, I think you got some idea on basic geometry. Thanks for watching.